Hello and welcome to this round of Industry Leader Live. I'm delighted to be welcomed and joined by Yolanda Blomjous today. Born in the Netherlands and having moved 28 times in 36 years, Yolanda knows a thing or two about moving and the expat life. Yolanda joined the service department industry 10 years ago, having worked at Oakwood, short stay group Yays, Homelike, and currently at SITU as country manager Benelux, with a focus on expanding their client base in the Benelux region. Yolanda won Rising Star of the Year in 2018, and is well-known figure in the service department industry. Yolanda, thank you very much for being with us today.
Thank you so much for having me.
It's a really interesting initiative that we're working on with these Industry Leader Lives. Delighted to have you on board as part of what we're doing. So tell us a bit about you, if you would, your journey within the service department sector and what has led to you taking the role at SITU.
Of course. As you mentioned, I've been part of the industry for 10 years. I can't actually see me being anywhere else. I absolutely love it. You know, the fundamentals of also working as a supplier once and then as a client. It's such a small industry. Everybody knows everyone. And I just love the family feel of it as well, and the industry in general, especially having sort of lived the expat life myself as well, having moved so much due to my father's job. So it's just really interesting to see it from so many different cultures, different aspects, you know, really building up relationship with both suppliers and clients as well over the years. So I actually started off in reservations with Oakwood and sort of worked my way up through different companies, also living in different countries. So I'm so excited to be part of the industry, and like I said, I can't see myself leaving it at all. So it's definitely ingrained in me. And yes, then came on to SITU, when was it, back beginning of August, which was a really exciting transition. So basically I've been asked to launch SITU Benelux. As you probably know, HQ is based in Exeter, and we were trialing to obviously expand within a particular region. We saw there was a lot of business, a lot of capabilities over there to really grow SITU as a worldwide company. So they asked me to basically look after all of the clients in the Benelux region, but then it didn't matter whether they booked in Benelux or whether they booked worldwide, because obviously we're going in 116 countries. So that's basically where I come in, and started it from absolute scratch, which is wonderful. So you're involved in the marketing, the supply team, you know, setting up a sales plan, literally every single aspect of the business. So it's like my little baby over here, and I absolutely love it, and I feel honoured to be part of the SITU family, and obviously to Phil and Nathan for all their guidance and support in making this a huge success.
Fantastic. Well, I'm sure everyone understands and knows all about SITU, but for those that may not, tell us a bit about SITU and the company and what it actually specialises in.
Of course. So we were actually founded in 2008. Our vision is to offer an alternative to hotels. So we're a global service department business. We focus on delivering easy booking experience, you know, through the people that we have. We call them the situers, the product and technology. And we actually have nearly 500,000 fully vetted service departments across 116 locations. And we work with over 10,000 clients, you know, global blue chip corporations within finance, construction, technology, oil, relocation companies, travel management companies, and the list goes on. And excitingly enough, we've actually recently partnered with Star and SiteMinded, and actually launched SITU Live, which is the largest network of instant bookable service departments in the marketplace. And obviously launching 2 satellite offices, one in the Netherlands, where I am, and one in France, where Steph Hansen, our supply chain chap, is.
And we've talked a lot, you've heard me talk a lot about standards and vetting and accreditation within the service department world. What standards have you seen your suppliers take specifically in response to COVID-19 and the pandemic and the challenges we're facing at the moment?
Definitely. So I think one of the most important things they did was actually starting internally, educating their staff, ensuring that they're following the government's guideline as well, supporting their guests, but as well as their staff as well, because it's such an unknown territory. I'm sure everyone will know, obviously, the strict housekeeping processes. Some suppliers will still offer the full housekeeping services, but the guests may have to leave the apartment. And some suppliers will offer the linen, etc. outside of the apartment. They will take away the old ones to minimize, obviously, the contact. Everyone knows this one, hand sanitizers, and obviously ensuring 1.5 meter distancing signs across the buildings as well. And very importantly, providing guests as well as staff with a fact sheet containing all necessary information about self-hygiene and preventative measures. We have some suppliers we saw as well who will leave 48 to 72 hours between bookings, and some even go as extreme as fogging the whole apartment to ensure they minimize the risk of infection. So these are all procedures which are implemented to ensure guest safety, security and comfort as well. Unfortunately, it does mean a lot of meet and greet, shaking the hands, etc. is no longer possible. Some suppliers also change it to a lockbox to ensure greater social distancing and obviously to reduce staff contact as well. And more importantly, ensuring everyone is obviously aligned with the government regulations. And, you know, I'm proud to say that SITU is obviously a long-standing ASAP agent member. So we've ensured that we've worked with our suppliers as well to ensure that they're implementing the Stay with Confidence scheme, which I'm sure everyone knows about, the 9 standards highlighting hygiene and cleaning standards. So we're really proud to work to this standard, the way we've led the way and restructured also the way that we work with suppliers.
Well, thank you for dropping those 9 standards in. I hadn't asked you to do that, but I appreciate it. And any opportunity to get ASAP works and recognition out there. So thank you very much. But what's interesting is how service departments are faring within the hospitality space. And we've written quite a bit about service departments being the answer to business travel, because individuals can self-isolate if they need to. They've got more space to work and so forth. Are you seeing inquiries, and are you seeing that is the case?
Definitely. What I am noticing as well is one of the reasons service departments are so perfectly suited to this climate is the fact that they have their own kitchens to cook in and living rooms, you know, just in case there's further lockdown or quarantine. And especially if people stay beyond a week, you know, with no kitchen and limited space, that there is also, you know, the real issue of mental health and well-being concerns as well. So I truly believe service departments is also the way forward, because they ensure greater social distancing, and actually one of the biggest challenges that we have in the service department industry, in my opinion anyway, is not necessarily competing with the hotel industry, but it's being compared to products being offered by platforms like Airbnb. So service departments, and in particular the properties being offered by SITU, we are actually professionally operated, insured, most importantly, compliant hospitality venue with customer services and obviously guest experiences baked in as well. And we've actually seen, we're very, very fortunate, we've actually seen an increase in the number of inquiries, especially the last couple of months, which is really, really positive. But we've also had certain hotels which have had to close down, and we've actually taken on their guests that were actually in-house. So as awful as it sounds, it has had its positives as well, and that we've been able to assist in that sense.
Well, that's interesting, isn't it? And what about inquiries and the cycle of sales and interaction with potential clients? Are you seeing any activity there during, well, you know, coming out of COVID? Let's say we're coming out of it now.
Yeah. Also, yes, indeed. I mean, typical sales cycles, it really does depend on the size of the clients as well. I mean, it can be anything from 3 months to 18 months, sometimes even longer. So initial contact, introductory meetings, negotiations, implementation, you know how the list goes on. And obviously, COVID-19 has affected every single one of us in the industry, outside the industry, whether it's because of furlough, redundancies, businesses closing down, unfortunately some big names closing down as well, which, you know, really makes you stop and think. Or maybe even someone close to you has tested positive for COVID-19. I actually have it here where my neighbour has tested positive, so it sort of comes really close to home. But also general uncertainty across the board, and the list goes on. I think what's important now is actually to show a lot of empathy and supporting your clients, and actually treating them more like a person, because every person is, you know, there's uncertainty. They don't know what's going to happen. They may have to homeschool their children. Cats and dogs want to be part of a Zoom call. You know, I've actually got myself a little puppy who likes to play with the squeakiest toy, but then that gets you onto the conversation with the client on a bit more of a personal basis. So I actually find it's not the hardcore sales cycle anymore. It's about being there as a support to your clients, and you can still build a relationship even though there may not be, you know, direct inquiries, but people are preparing for next year. You know, we've got clients who are saying Q1 we're going to be starting up again. Some say Q2, some say Q3. It really depends. I think everyone's sort of looking to see who is basically going to go first. But having conversations with these clients as well, a lot of them are reviewing their business spend, and some are even going through an early RFP because it is less busy, and they're able to actually prepare for that.
Wow, so, that's yes. Interesting, isn't it? So I mean, we've got a vaccine coming apparently. You are suggesting that there's grassroots appearing, which is really positive. What are your thoughts around that from a timescale perspective then?
I definitely think it's always hard to say. I mean, I've personally attended quite a few webinars as well, and actually spoken to clients, you know, to find out their point of view on it. And when inquiries or surveys have been done, the feedback is normally between Q2 and Q3, where they believe it is going to be quite high pre-COVID, but you also have some of the larger clients who will continue working from home until the end of next year, and who will put everything on hold. And what we've noticed as well is that guests actually end up staying for longer. So rather than having 2-3 night stays, they tend to put all their business travel in one go, rather than, say, for example, 3 different days. So I'm actually noticing throughout the business that the length of stay is actually increasing, which is obviously really positive, and another reason why service departments are really the way forward.
Oh, well, that's brilliant. You are an amazing advocate for our industry, Yolanda.
Thank you
very much. It's great talking to you today, and thanks ever so much for being part of this initiative.
Thank you so much. Take care.
Bye.